I want to talk about LeBron James, because who is this diva? I can't stand LeBron James for so many reasons. Look at this. Academy Award-winning actress. Look at him. LeBron flopped James. Who hit you? Who shot you? Who shot you, LeBron? LeBron James, known for flopping his entire career. Yes, he is one of the greatest of all time, but the thing that's disgusting is that he always takes an opportunity to remind you of that. You know, when you're really the GOAT, like Michael Jordan, you don't have to constantly tell people that you're the greatest of all time. The only time that you should have to do that is when people are constantly discrediting you. And even the biggest critics of LeBron James give him his flowers, but he still complains and cries all the time that he's not getting enough props. But now he's also complaining that his son isn't getting enough props. So before we even go there, if you guys know Stephen A. Smith, he is a sports commentator. He's been in the game for a very, very long time. And, you know, he says some pretty base things sometimes. I like the way he thinks. I disagree with some of his takes. Some of his takes just take it way too far. But in general, I respect his takes. And when it comes to basketball, he definitely knows the game. And he is always keeping his foot on Bronny James's neck. Bronny James is LeBron James's son that is now in the NBA with him. And there is a lot of shade that goes towards Bronny James, and for good reason. You know, he's not that good at basketball, but he is basically a Nepo baby in the NBA without the Nepo talent. Okay, you can't inherit all the talent. And obviously he's an above average basketball player, but when it comes to the NBA, I really don't think he would still be in the NBA if it wasn't for his last name. You know, I was looking up some of the stats regarding Bronny James. He has under 5-minute gameplay average, and they basically do that just for the press. They basically just do that for how iconic it is to have a son and a father, particularly LeBron James, who is such a diva, to have them on the court together. He barely averages a point per game. His 3-point average is like 20%, and that's less than Dave Rubin's. Please, okay? Dave Rubin, yes, the political commentator Dave Rubin, he probably has a better 3-point average than Bronny James at this point. He can't rebound. He can't assist. He's a great bench warmer, and you know, at the end of the day, everybody has to have a role. But I give him an A for effort because somebody has to do it. Somebody has to keep the bench warm. And it is cool to see this father-son history be made, but Bronny James is just not that good at basketball. He's certainly in the shadow of LeBron James. So this whole thing of people trying to fight for Bronny to get all this respect in the industry, for what? Okay, for what? He still has time to prove his worthiness to be in the NBA, but if it weren't for his last name, he would have already been cut. No shade. But all that to say, LeBron James went viral over the weekend because he confronted Stephen A. Smith at a basketball game. So let's see the clip. So you can't fully tell what he's saying, but you know, if you look at all the internet mouth readers, all the lip readers of the world, they are very good at telling what it is that he's saying. And according also to some people who are a little closer to the conversation, they basically said that LeBron told him to keep my son out of your mouth and some more colorful language. He told him to stop talking about Bronny James. Now, out of being, okay, objective and trying to be fair, from the perspective of a father, I can only, and I'm not a father, at least not yet, but if I were a father, I would want to stand on business for my son too. I would want to take an opportunity to go hand you the business if you're constantly criticizing my son, because I did look it up. Stephen A. Smith does read Bronny for filth all the time, but he's not a good athlete. If you are not good at your job, then people are going to tell you that you're not good at your job, because Lord knows when I have a bad video, y'all tell me, and I don't see my father coming in the comment section arguing with y'all. And even some of my biggest fans will eat me up. That's why I call you my cousins, because it's a safe space for criticism. We can argue at the table. I might clap back, but we can all still be family, okay? But that being said, LeBron James, you got to be so for real. Your son is a pro athlete. And if this were a normal job, you would not go in and yell at the people that are criticizing your son at his job. You would not go into any other workspace and say, you're not allowed to talk about my child. And if you did, you would end up in jail. Okay, so for you to get all up in Stephen A. Smith's face, that was just doing too much, in my humble opinion. Because you can't pass on your talent through DNA. And that's all Stephen Smith is trying to say. So LeBron James, the diva, the actress, you and your perpetual victim mentality, it's tired. We are tired of you playing the victim. You play the victim on the court. You're always talking about how you need more racial justice. Aren't you a billionaire? If you are a billionaire, you can only complain so much. Okay, you are a billionaire from being good at dribbling a ball. And I'm not saying that to discredit your success at all, because then you could argue, well, I'm making a living just talking crap on the internet about you. And you know what? I am. And I'm gonna get this bag. And if my son, my future son, tries to get on this mic and he can't speak the truth in the way that I do, then I'm gonna tell him, go to law school, because you still need to make that coin some way. And I'm gonna make sure I give them some nepotism there too. But if my son goes to law school and he can't win a case, then we're back to the drawing board. And for Bronny, that might be what he needs to do. Maybe he can get like an investment deal or something. You know, a lot of these people who fail at being a musician, like a Cardi B, for example, they just go and become influencers. Go be an influencer, Bronny James. Keep trying. Keep trying. You're young in your career. Let me not be a hater too much, but you need to check your dad.